Hello guys and welcome to beingDev. In this video we'll look into template literals in ES6. We will look into string interpolation, tagged template literals, and then we will go through some practical use cases for the same. Let's start with string interpolation. What you see on the left side is how we used to manipulate strings before ES6. For adding expressions or variables, we used to split strings using plus symbol, and then we used to use /n for line breaks. But now ES6 has added an easier way to do all these string interpolations. So you can use backticks to evaluate a string, and then you can use this $curly brace for evaluating an expression. For example, age is a variable here that will be available like so. So age is 30, and then the string, the backticks will do the job. And more than that, this respects the new line as well, and you don't need to mention /n every time you want a new line. So let's now look at an example for the same. So in this we are creating HTML using nested template literals. So what we are doing here is we have created a function, and I'm passing an array of objects into that function, and then the function returns a table out of that data. So how it does that, let me show you how map works. So through map, what we are doing is array.map, and then let's say we are returning a string. So this is what map does. It replaces what is returned out of the function into the array itself. So for example, if I'm doing let's say I'm using backticks over here, so you see that, so that value will be added because of the expression, and inside the inside the template literal, and then it will return array like so. So now in this function we are doing the similar stuff. So we are creating a row, and then we are joining those rows using join, and then that will be added inside a table tag like so. So if I run this code, so it will return a table to us. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is tagged template literals. These lets you manipulate the template literal itself. Tag is something like a function you will be using before your template literal, and using this function you can return whatever you want out of your template literal. This is actually very powerful concept because some languages like ES6 are built on the similar concept. In this case we are having the tag function, and you can return anything out of this function. In this case we are returning arguments. Just to have a look what arguments are there. So in the tagged function you get array of strings that are separated by the expressions. So first string, second string, and then the third string, array of strings, and then the expressions in the respective order. So first expression first, and then the second expression. So you can get all these things using these arguments inside the tagged template literal. So saying this is similar to calling a function like so. Okay, so in this case also we are passing an array of strings and then the evaluated value of the expression. So in the arguments that we get another thing called Rawstring. So if you see in the first array you get an key like raw, an array raw. Inside that array you will get raw strings. By raw strings I mean if you have used /n, then the actual /n will be present and not the new line will be present. Okay, so you can get your raw string inside of this array. And secondly, you can gather all your expressions into one array using the gather operator like so in the arguments. So let's see what this is returning to us. If you see over here we get enter for the new line, and in this raw array we get /n, that is the raw string, and also we get the expressions inside an array. Actually this should be okay, and one more thing to remember here, that is the length of string array will always be one more than the number of expressions. For example, let's take this example only, and then consider that we are just passing an expression and nothing else, no string, no another expression and something, and then we are doing the same. So in this case also we are getting two elements in the string array. Why? Because the first empty string and the last empty string are being added to that array. Okay, so just remember that the string array length will be one more than the number of expressions. Now let's look at some of the practical examples of tagged template literals. So this is just a basic function, but it's important that you understand this because this will help you for doing a number of tasks using template literals. So using this function, what I'm doing is I'm returning the same string that you will get without using a tag template literal. So if you're doing this, let's say you're not using the tagged function, so you'll get this string. But in case you are using the tagged function as well, in that case also you should get the same string. So that is what this function is doing. Okay, so you're getting the same string. So in this case, what actually I'm doing is I'm iterating over the string array and then adding the expressions at the proper place. So this is just concatenating different stuff that we get in the arguments so that we can return the same string that should be evaluated using string interpolation. Okay, so now where this function will help you. So if you see another example, this one, so in this case what I have done is I have checked if the expression is a number, and if it is a number then I'm adding the rupees as currency to it. And similarly this can be used for internationalization. So depending upon the situation where your code is running, you can replace this rupees with dollar or euro or whatever. So let us run this code. So this is returning the string, but the numbers are concatenated with the currency symbol. That's all for this video, guys. Thanks for joining, and in case you learned something, please hit like. For issues, please leave a comment.